So, Misfits is just around the corner. It's number 20 and it's going to be up in Manchester. The headline of the show is going to be Darren Till versus Anthony Taylor. But we also have as a co-headliner, Wade Plemons making his Misfits debut. And he's fighting against the Masai Warrior, Mosiah Pinder. So, lads, Wade, a very, very hotly anticipated debut. How do we think this goes? Miles, who wins in this fight? How and why?
No. I'm very, very, as you can see, I am bamboozled by this question.
I mean, they're both two people that you could end up fighting in the future as well.
Yeah.
True. So it's very interesting.
I would rather fight Wade.
Oh, okay. Why?
Interesting.
Because I haven't watched much of the Masai Warrior. Who did he fight last time? Was this his first fight?
Yeah,
This
he
is
was
his
meant to
first
fight
fight,
HS, but it fell through.
You know how EHS is. Man's always running, crashing cars somewhere else. Weird youth, man.
Okay. I haven't actually seen much of Masai Warrior.
Yeah.
Wade, I don't know. Wade's obviously with BJ Flores, isn't he? You've defeated BJ Flores.
That team loses a little bit. Yeah, what's there?
And you've already
Tristan Hamlets.
Yeah, better get your weight up.
Tristan Crybaby. You've obviously beaten that camp, but that is not to say that BJ Flores, obviously his credentials.
Yeah, and they work hard over there. That's one thing,
Yes.
you know, whether it be Jake Paul or Josh Bruckner or Tristan Ham, when they get in the ring, they are ready for it. They're physically in great shape. They have a game plan that BJ gets them ready to fight.
And for me, BJ looks like a very good coach.
Yeah.
He does look like an amazing coach. And you can actually tell that how good BJ is from, remember the first video we watched of Tristan Ham punching, and I commented on him and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
From that video to when he actually fought against you.
Yeah.
To be fair to him.
That wasn't a fight. I'm sorry. That was a massacre.
To be fair,
I'm sorry. It was.
To be fair to him, he put on a very, very good performance. Not as good as you, but he put on a very good. The jump in progression was huge.
Yeah.
From what we saw.
And BJ has them
initially.
round the clock. Like, I think BJ was living with Tristan as well.
Sorry, not Tristan Ham. I was thinking about Halal Ham. I do apologize. Yeah.
So I think BJ was living with Tristan, and I think from Wade, he was saying that after Qatar, he literally drove down to where BJ was, moved in there, so they are round the clock.
Yeah.
Camp.
I love the thought of a BJ Flores camp. It really seems.
BJ, I think Miles wants to train with you. I think that's the takeaway from
he
this.
makes an effort to immerse himself in the fighters.
I like, he really dedicates himself to his fighters and to his craft. You know, all I see of when I do go on Twitter, all I see is BJ Flores either commenting on behalf of his fighters or showing camp work or showing them boxing and actually showing the fundamentals of where they start, you know. And I saw the other week where he put up a post of Wade punching for the first time, and you could see that it was all over the gaff.
Yeah, and the difference.
And then I saw one the other day, and he was hitting the pads with some real sting, you know. And it's really fascinating to watch. And this is why I'm kind of, I don't know who's going to win, because Masai Warrior is obviously potentially trained in boxing. I know Wade has obviously done a bit of bag work here and there, and he has trained in MMA, hasn't he?
I think he's done little bits here and there, but he was a college NFL wide receiver.
Exactly.
So clearly there's some athleticism.
Yeah, the athleticism is there. But then Masai Warrior has obviously had a camp previously before the HS Tiki Toki.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't know who's going to win, man. I really don't know, because I know what BJ can do to people.
Miles, I need an answer from you, sir, and it's got to be one word. Who wins out of Masai Warrior and Wade in their up-and-coming fight?
Give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wade.
Okay, stoppage, points.
What weight they fighting at?
Cruiserweight.
Cruiser.
Yeah.
Stoppage.
Okay. Jamal, who wins? Messiah Pinder, the Masai Warrior, or Wade Plemons?
I'm going to say Masai Pinder.
The unknown quantity.
The unknown quantity. I think Wade has been around boxing for so long, but it starts to argue the question that even though you have had NFL collegiate experience, you're clearly an athlete. Why now?
If you was about it, you would have been about it.
Yeah, you would have been about it. And it's like, it doesn't take you so long to just, yes, your commentating is great. And yes, you've been around the sport. So I expect you to understand what's being done and what's happening in front of you. But there's a saying, some people talk the talk and some people walk the walk. And you spent so much time talking the talk. Yes, you are very
Sounds
good
like
at
you're
it.
calling Wade out here. No?
I'm not calling Wade out. I'm just making a very...
You're not Wade out with them hands.
Nah, I think he's a lot taller than I am.
He's quite
But
big.
I think the unknown quantity with the Masai Warrior is that, as you said, he's been in the camp beforehand. He clearly is a very fit guy. The only issue that I the only issue that I would say could potentially arise is if he will become fatigued.
All that muscle?
Yeah, he's quite huge. Obviously, we saw this with Arms Corleone, and I don't think anybody can go as far as that, but we've seen literal fatigue just completely.
Shout out to
knock
Arms,
somebody
though,
out.
because Arms wins these fights.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he's
but
done
now
it
that
at the
he
end
kind of
of it.
leaves a little bit too much in this fight. Like, whatever you're doing, just scale it back by 50%
That's what you call
because
leaving
clearly
it
it's
in the
not
ring.
necessary. But my thing is I believe that because he's had so much experience in having to prepare for these fights, it will allow him to be in a position where he was obviously prepared to fight somebody who, I mean, I can't even say what kind of pedigree AHS Tiki Taki has, but he's been preparing himself to fight somebody.
Yeah.
And because he's been preparing himself to do so, I would surmise that the Masai Warrior might pip it in the end. I think it's going to be points. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage. I think it's going to get to a point where Wade is going to try everything that he can to try and knock him out.
Definitely.
But the reality is that muscles kind of take away some of the pain. I just hope that he has enough of an engine to take himself. Because how many rounds are they fighting?
4 probably.
4? Right. I just hope he doesn't gas himself out. Because if he gasses himself out, he's just going to be a walking target. And Wade has an incredible reach.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the unknown quantity and the Masai Warrior because I believe he's prepared himself beforehand. So, I mean, it's going to be a great fight.